May's balling. I mean, Moody's a good receiver, but May is just balling. Like,
Right. And by the way, how about this number? And this will tell you, when you're doing it this well, everyone's balling. You're balling as a receiver. Your quarterback is balling. Your OC's freaking balling. He is averaging I know it's a smaller sample, but 18.7 yards a catch with a 77% catch rate.
Wow. That's video game efficiency. It's crazy.
That is nuts. 23 of 30 targets, and he's averaging almost 19 yards a catch. I mean, it's got to be May. It's got to be him too.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. What is up? Welcome to the Week 9 edition of Matchup Points here at fantasypoints.com. I'm John Hansen. Graham Barfield, he's back in the hizzy along with Brett Whitefield. People still say hizzy, or is that from like 19 years ago? Probably the latter, but we're ready to rock and roll here for Week 9. 4 teams off. So we've got, 14 games to barrel through. Let's dive right into it as the Baltimore Ravens are in Miami to take on the Dolphins. We do have a total here of 50.5. That bodes well. So, Brett, I'll go to you. Actually, I'll ask you a question I asked you earlier today because it's fresh on the brain here. Talk about what you're seeing out of the tight end room there. I mean, Charlie Kohler, other than stealing a tutty from Mandrews last week, are you worried at all about Isaiah Likely, usurping Mandrews, bogarting targets at any point going forward? I mean, it's just a weird thing. It seems like it's just been a real slow ramp up here for Likely.
Yeah, and it was kind of a ramp down in Week 8. His route share dropped precipitously from 80% to like 56%. So, I'm not necessarily worried about it because I think they can both, survive a little bit in this offense. We've seen games where they both produce. So, and Miami's got a really, really bad defense in general, but they've been really bad against tight ends. They've given up at least 5 catches to tight ends in 5 of their games so far this season. So I think this bodes well for both guys. I mentioned the prop on your show because 27.5 for Andrews with Lamar coming back should seem pretty safe. I think at Likely's is even lower. It's like 22.5. So you want to play both of them, I ain't mad at you. Miami's pass defense, they're getting up 72.5% completion rate allowed just in general on all throws. That's unheard of bad. That's just really, I mean, it's funny because Baltimore is equally as bad, but on that side of the ball, I like both these guys for that reason.
What's funny is, Miami's secondaries actually hasn't been that bad, by the numbers, Graham.
Their corners have been better than I think people thought. It's the middle of the defenses. Their linebackers and safeties are god awful.
Got it. Yeah, which bodes really well for Mandrews. Graham, where are you? You're Mr. Running Back. Where are you with Derrick Henry? I did not emerge victorious on that prop, but it's like, if somebody tells you Derrick Henry's getting 21 carries at home in a game they win by 2 tutties, you're going in on the overs. What do you see?
He got yards, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say too, he got real close, 71 yards for him. I'm all in on Henry back half of the season with Lamar. And this is a great starting spot against this, Miami run defense we've been picking on all year. Real quick, I did want to echo Brett's point on Andrews. That was really my only take in this game. Miami plays a lot of too high coverage. Andrews leads this team in targets per route run against too high. I know I've been a little bit of a Mandrews hater on this show this year, but this seems like a really good spot for him to get going. Definitely, Henry, Miami's given up 4.7 yards per carry. He's going to smash. Huge explosive run rate as well, nearly 9%. But I do think this is a decent spot for Andrews. John, we've got a pretty good tight end slate. You're the tight end whisperer. This is a pretty good tight end slate. I want to get your thoughts for Andrews.
Not as much this year. It hasn't been as crisp for yours truly on those tight ends. But yeah, I'm in on that prop at the very least.
Nice.
He's got to get a 20-yarder. It feels like, Brett, a 20-yarder to Mandrews in this game.
Yeah, for sure. That's where they're soft. That intermediate part, little catch and run from Andrews, I think gets it done for sure.
I think also, Graham, one thing that's hurt me is a little bit of tight end committees going on out there. Like it's just it's a little bit of that, or at least fear of it.
That's my only concern here is that, like you were saying, they do play a lot of 12. They're going to get back to their 12, this week as well. But yeah, really, really strong spot for both of these tight ends.
Get Ricard back. That can't hurt. And Zay Flowers is the man.
He's incredible.
Zay Flowers is the man. Yeah. I mean, he's all over the place. Like we haven't seen much downfield stuff though, Brett. I mean, how many plays with air yards have we seen? Maybe early in September.
Definitely nothing designed. When it happens, it comes on scramble drill. Lamar being back is going to help with that a ton, right? I mean, there was nothing going on with Huntley and Rush
exactly.
for Zay downfield. So,
real quick, I mean, Miami's defense, like, what the hell happened to Atlanta last week? I mean, how much of that was Kirky, cooked Cousins, and how much was that? I got to give some respect to the Miami Dolphins that are still playing hard.
Kirk looked better than Penix to me.
Wow.
The tape says that. I mean, the Dolphins committed to stopping Bijan, and that messed up the Falcons' game plan. And this shouldn't surprise anyone. The Falcons have completely no-showed in 3 of their games. They've got a 3-point outing on the books. They got a 0. They got shut out by the Panthers of all defenses. The freaking Panthers shut them out. Yeah. And then they put up a 10 spot in another game. So, I mean, this is just who they are. The Falcons are super inconsistent, but Miami sold out to stop the run. They put 8 guys in the box. Right. And the Falcons have this real weird pistol. I know we're not doing the Falcons, but their run scheme's super weird this year. I'm kind of mad about it. So,
well, I would imagine that Miami will try and do the same thing with Derrick Henry. Of course, you've got this is where the big play to Mandrews for 20 comes in. I think let's soften them up
and do it at your own risk. Baltimore is way more equipped to handle an 8-man box than the Falcons. Falcons were down London. They had Darnell Mooney and Kyle Pitts basically was it, and a statue in Kirk Cousins. So Lamar being a little bit, more mobile and having better weapons downfield, I think will help him a lot.
And to your point about the tight ends, I mean, what did Kyle Pitts do last week? He caught 9 balls. Kyle Pitts, below the surface, half of us don't care because we gave up forever. But Kyle Pitts is actually having a good year. Graham, any thoughts on Achane, Tua? I mean, they are coming off their best game of the year. I don't trust it totally, but Waddle's the man. I already went in on an Achane prop. There's a 50 total here over the receiving. There's a 50 total here. Baltimore gives up receiving production. Like that's got to happen. We got to start doing a little bit better job, I think, too, of getting a little bit more creative with Achane in the passing attack. It's been a little quiet here, but they have to do it here, I think.
Yeah, he's playing more receiver, which is a good call by you. I think Achane receiving makes a ton of sense. Obviously, Waddle, an amazing spot. Ravens play a lot of man coverage. So he's going to get some one-on-ones on the outside. If Lamar's fully healthy, this game is going to go off.
Okay, let's move on here to Chicago at Cincinnati, and I'll go to you, Graham. You just called me the tight end whisperer. Like, babies being born this month know that Cincinnati's bad against tight ends. I got to throw out Colston Loveland here. Like I have to throw out Colston Loveland this week. I think he's a top 12 guy.
I'm with you. I just did the same thing with Theo on our Start Set show on the Fantasy Points daily feed. I'm with you. The season high route share for Loveland last week with no Cole Kmet. That's really, really nice. Brett, you've been saying that he is an excellent route runner for 2-3 years now. Obviously, Ben Johnson needs and wants to get a secondary receiver involved here, and this is just the spot, like you said. I mean, the linebacker and safety core for the Bengals is just the slowest in the NFL by far. These guys are so bad. They have some like legitimately fringe-worthy NFL guys in the middle of their field. So, yeah, Loveland, starting to trend up in terms of the opportunity. We just need to get him a little more involved with this offense. But that was my angle in this game as well. Is like Loveland is an excellent streamer this week if you're just dying at tight end.
I could totally I'm a visualization guy. And it's not like I'm just bringing stuff up randomly and just guessing, like I'm using the information that I have, and I have to say it works a lot. I'm just seeing Loveland running free. in this game for like a big play or getting a lot of late production. Because, by the way, I don't think it's a great spot for Roma Dunze. They play a lot of zone. He'll see Turner, who's good. They prevent big plays pretty well this year. So it all sets up, I think, for Loveland. But, Brett, you like DeAndre Swift, and I got to say, they are, I mean, you want to talk about maximizing a player's talent. That, I believe, is what Ben Johnson is doing right now with Swifty, at least in the running game.
Yeah, I've really admired what Ben's doing. He's forcing the defense's hand into small box counts. And they're, whether it's a read option tag or some spread looks, he's been doing some things similar to Josh Heupel at Tennessee, where he's lining up his receivers outside the numbers, giving those small box counts for Swift, and he's taking advantage. Not to mention, so Swift's on a heater right now. Actually, he's averaging over 6.5 yards a carry his last 3 games, which is nuts. And then to boot, the Bengals' run defense is awful. 5 yards per carry allowed on the season. They are, 5th worst in EPA allowed per run. Success rate allowed, they're 2nd worst in the league. Explosive run rate's really high. So it's a really good spot for Swift. And I think the Bengals pass rush has been decent. And I think at times, when Caleb sees heavy zone looks mixed with a decent pass rusher like Trey Hendrickson, that's been a really bad formula for him. I think they're going to want to establish that run and get Swift going early to kind of take the pressure off Caleb a little bit.
And by the way, look for your big ass tight end. If the scramble drill is in effect, or what I mean, like that's another angle I think for Loveland. Graham, I am still butthurt about losing a T. Higgins prop last week. I think the Jets. I didn't even go back and watch the game. I think the Jets probably ended up playing a lot of zone, so there was Jamar Chase and all that. But come on, man, this is getting a little ridiculous. I'm sorry. The guy scores a 44-yard touchdown. You throw him one more freaking ball in like the next 20 minutes of football. But anywho, where are you with that? I mean, how sustainable is what we're seeing here? I say no. I mean, look, if you want to throw 18 screen passes, Jamar Chase, I'm sure you could do it every week. But I don't feel great about it. What do you say?
You're right. The Jets did play their lowest rate of man coverage last week at 19%. So that was exactly it. Chase just, goes off against zones. It's also Joe Flacco only has eyes for one man on that team, and it's Jamar Chase. And I understand why, but at the same time, I'm kind of with you. Like, you've got this monster on the other side. Unfortunately, guys, we have like some serious concerns with Joe Flacco here. Bengals have a bye coming up next week, and he hurt his throwing shoulder. We might get Jake Browning in this spot, which just kind of kills this game, unfortunately.
Well, Brad, I would imagine Browning would throw 19 screen passes to Jamar Chase.
Inaccurately, half of 8 would be catchable, but yeah.
Yeah, that is. I mean, Chase takes a hit for sure if Browning is that QB. Hopefully, it's only for 1 week though.
Yeah,
with the Bengals having the bye. But
I mean, do you agree? And again, tell me if I'm just butthurt because I lost a prop by whatever 11 yards. Because all I had to do is throw him another ball. We probably get it. But I mean, it's a little crazy, don't you think? Like, it's a little much the last 2 weeks, I think.
I don't think it's sustainable. I mean, receivers now, like, you look at the data, they have the 3rd highest injury rate in the league. I know Chase is a beast, but like, dude, that's a running back workload. 23 targets. It's ridiculous.
True. It's like a fine line between utilizing your best player and going crazy overboard with it. I think that's where they are. Do you feel any better about now? Flacco is iffy, as you said, Graham. I'll go to you. Where are you at with Chase Brown? Because I will say, all of a sudden, this is the last 2 weeks. This is literally the Chase Brown I thought we'd say.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about, John. You're the trade for guy. I think Chase Brown might be a pretty decent sell right now. The role is still just meh. Like, he's been at 53% of the snaps in 3 of his last 4 games. Samaje Perine still playing a lot. Like, I believe in Flacco for sure being a big upgrade, but they've also had some really easy matchups the last 2 weeks too. Schedule gets a little tighter in the back. They've got some really tough games. Maybe not on the ground. They get, Ravens, Bills, Ravens back to back within Miami. So, pretty easy ground matchups, but this team is like, their defense is so bad. Like, how many times are they going to actually be able to lean on the run in those spots? I've gone back and forth on Chase Brown. I think he's like a pretty good RB2 rest of season, but I might be looking to sell. What do you think?
Well, it's a good question because 2 weeks ago I said buy.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
And now I'm not sure. I'm definitely not pounding the table to sell, but I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. Like they've got some really good matchups, but like I said, I mean, they could get just smoked against the Ravens twice. They could get smoked against the Bills too, and just not be able to really, lean on the run.
Well, the
And then you
problem is
mix
he
in the
doesn't
fact
get
that
it.
Piron's playing more,
Right. He didn't get any volume in receiving at all, Chase, basically.
Well, last week was like the first positive week he's had in the
Right.
receiving game. He's been like a complete zero in the pass game all year, except for last week, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a little fluky, but it was in line with the analysis 2 weeks ago. And I think Joe Flacco will help them.
Yep.
But that said, Graham, it was only 3 grabs.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. He's just been around like 15 touches every single game. It's. I think I'm leaning more towards sell. I think that's how I'm going to write it up this week.
Yeah, I mean, look, the body of work. I'm let's look at the body of work. It's been suspect this year for sure.
Very sus.
Very sus. Hopefully you can't hear my dog barking in the background because I have this thing here. When he's barking, I could do this, but I don't think it'll work.
Is that an air horn?
No, yes, I did. Yes, it is. Shut up, Wrigley. And but it works. Oh yeah, it works.
It's hilarious.
But my battery just went dead on that. But those listening to the podcast have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, I have an air horn, whatever. I mean, it's a big one too. Look how big this thing is.
That's hilarious.
It's like 1.5 feet long. My neighbor across the way is a big Phillies fan, so I almost was like a couple of days ago. I was like, "How about them Dodgers?" Okay, but I didn't do that.
You should get a dog whistle and just like link it up to that, like put it in behind there, and he'll. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, that's right. But Wrigley does react to it. Like when he jumps on us or if somebody comes to the door, he comes in and like he attacks them. And I just like, Wrigley, shut up. And then he comes right the hell down. By the way, Graham, not to get off on a tangent, but the Dodgers last night on Tuesday night, I know this team so well. I literally went to bed.
Oh, really?
I was like, nope, 0% chance. 0.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to bed. And
I turned it off after it was 6-1. I got in bed too. But
yeah. But you're not the lifelong Dodgers fan, although you are a little Dodger.
I've never had a baseball team, and then you and I went to Dodger Stadium. We saw Yankees Dodgers like 6-7 years ago.
Oh, was
I
that
was
the
living
game
in LA.
The Yankees killed us that day.
Yeah, and they did. Oh. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I think it was
and those
like
fans were so obnoxious.
Yeah, Yankees fans tend to be a little obnoxious, but
you know what?
Anyway.
We're really off on a tangent, but final thought. When the Dodgers beat the Yankees in the World Series, I laid it on heavily on Sirius XM and anywhere I could, breaking their balls. And a lot of that was that. A lot of it was that because the Dodgers got the shit kicked out of them by the Yankees at Dodger Stadium, and Graham and I were there. Sorry. Let's move on to the Vikings Lions. Speaking of getting the shit kicked out of you, Brett, all of a sudden now I'm cursing on the pod as well. It's a new thing. But I don't see really any chance for our guy JJ, unless miraculously, Brian O'Neill and Darisaw play. This Lion D, what in the world did they do last week? I was one of the most impressive performances against Baker I've seen, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they learned is what what happened. You look at the Washington Commanders playoff game where they had a bear cupboard, and then you look at the Kansas City Chiefs game where they had a bear cupboard. What they did in both those games was just go, you know what, screw it. We're just going to run super vanilla defense. We're not going to trust our guys to go make plays. And I think Kelvin Shepard learned his lesson, said, you know what, these guys are on our team for a reason. We're going to go play our style of defense. We're not going to change anything. And they went back to doing the things that they like to do. And guess what? It worked. So hat tip to Kelvin Shepard for figuring that one out. I don't know that Aaron Glenn would have. So really impressive. So their pass rush too has been elite this season. Their pressure rate's over like 43.5%. Shout out to Hutch for getting the new deal today as well. That's pretty awesome.
I mean, it's how scary is this? I mean, how ugly could this get? Am I overstating this?
No, I mean, if Darisaw and O'Neal can't go, this is not. I wouldn't even play JJ. I would just play Brosner and just say whatever. We'll get JJ back. I know that's not how the NFL works, right? But that's a scary situation. They've been purposely protecting JJ, and I can't imagine it was for this moment. You know what I mean? Like this seems. Whew.
Well, he can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Because every time it's something big. Week 1, you're going to open a career on national TV.
Yeah.
Then week 2, you're going to do the same thing. And then you're going to play across the pond a couple of weeks in a row. Then you're going to play the world champs, and then you're going to play on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Like there's no good week.
Yeah. And that's not even considering all of the injuries to the offensive line, in and out all season long.
Yeah.
Darrisaw left after 9 plays the other day. You know what I mean?
Break. Oh, I know. I know.
O'Neal,
I thought Hawkinson would do all right last week. I thought O'Neal would play.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a must win, and he doesn't play, and like we're dead.
And even if they go this week, it's like they're both clearly banged up. You know, it's I don't know. It's not a great situation for JJ. And if there was a Purple Heart equivalent for athletes, Carson Wentz needs it because he laid it all on the line to protect JJ. I mean, what a dude.
Yeah, what a dude. And lifelong Vikings fan. He did it. I mean, God love him. But this is frightening here. But Graham, do you have anything like? Would you punt this week on all Vikings not named Justin Jefferson? That's where I'm leaning.
I probably play Addison too, but like as a low end wide receiver 3, I'm fully avoiding this backfield. I mean, we've got a 2-game sample where it's just been like a gross compartmentalized split. Aaron Jones has actually led this backfield in snaps by a hair over Mason. Mason has more carries, but Jones is getting way more work in the passing game. And then this week, Lions have a really good pass rush. They've been coached extremely well in the secondary, like Brett was saying, and their run defense is legitimately like top 5, at least top 8. I mean, they're just giving up 3.6 yards per carry, basically no explosives. And then we're talking about, them not having Darrisaw. I mean, it's huge for them. So I think I'm with you. I think it's just definitely playing Jefferson. Can't take him out of a lineup. Addison is more of like a flex wide receiver 3 this week. He's been a really good wide receiver 2 for basically his entire career, but specifically the last 2 years, just like super underrated player. I'm with you. What's that, Brett?
I have a hot take. I think I like Addison more in this matchup.
Okay.
Amik Robertson's going to shadow Jefferson, and for whatever reason, they have an ongoing battle back since high school.
Bad blood. Love it.
For whatever reason, Amik has him. Like Amik shut him down in a state championship game in high school.
Okay.
Amik, remember week 18 last year with the division on the line?
Yeah.
All the Lions corners were hurt except Amik. Amik shadowed him and completely locked him out. So there's videos of them back at camps in Louisiana growing up of Amik just bodying. It's just kind of a funny rivalry they have, and for whatever reason, Amik has had the better end of it. But I don't trust Terry and Arnold to cover Jordan Addison whatsoever.
Yeah, Arnold's given up a lot of fantasy points per route run.
Yeah, he's been pretty bad this year.
What's crazy and frustrating is the coverage is really sticky. He just can't get his head around to the ball, so he just gives up. Even if he's at perfect coverage, he's just giving up catches all over the place. So,
well, I got a prop for you. Aaron Jones over 15.5 receiving yards.
Ooh, that's a nice one, John.
I mean, I'm even afraid of JJ getting him that. Like, can you dump it off or check it down? Like, of course, JJ did also throw a downfield touchdown to Aaron Jones. So
they tried to hit that wheel last week too. It didn't work.
He'll do it again. Jones specifically has beat Anzalone on that play several times in his career. So.
Yeah, that's a great call. I mean, he's got 44 and 15 in his 2 full games this year, John. So
and Jordan Mason is hopeless.
Yeah.
Without the offense running at optimal efficiency with their, I mean, it is a tragedy, I think, for Vikings fans because I don't think any team invested more in their offensive line in the offseason.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason why I was so optimistic. And
Bears
there was
the only other one, but
there was a brief moment. It may have, I think it was in that first game when Mason started running on the Bears. Where
it was the second half. Yeah, it was the second half.
Oh my God. This is the best line blocking that they've had in 10 years. And
everybody's hurt.
Lions, they should crush, right? I mean, we're not the Vikings, Brett, are not stopping Amon-Ra. They're not stopping Gibbs, and Dave will probably get it done. Anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I play everyone I have in this game. Unfortunately, someone's going to disappoint you. That's just the way it's going to go. But
right.
Probably
Laporta, maybe. Although the Vikings were terrible last week.
But they've been sitting back in too high, and Laporta is like Goff's go-to guy against too high.
Well, then J-Mo, then.
Yeah, but then I know you say that, but then he's going to get a couple 0 looks, right? And then if he cooks a corner, I would say J-Mo is probably the guy least likely to go off for sure.
Gotcha.
But
I got a lot of respect for Brian Flores. I think he's an awesome defensive coordinator, but the Lions have just killed the Vikings. They've put up at least 30 points on them in 4 straight games. I mean, they've just done such a good job against this team.
Goff has a career passer rating of like 143 against Flores.
Yeah.
So it's like Goff against the blitz.
Yep.
That's it.
He's great against the blitz. Gibbs last year, by the way, went for 116 and 139 in the 2 games against Minnesota. He had 6 touchdowns in those 2 games.
Amon-Ra? Oh, Gibbs. Yeah.
Gibbs.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if Amon-Ra had 6 touchdowns again. He had 8 for 111, 112 and a tutty, and 6 for 77. So he basically caught 14 balls for 200 yards and a tutty.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get about half of that in this one. Let's go to Carolina at Green Bay. Man, Brett, you know what, I feel bad for the Fantasy Points Charters that had to watch Andy Dalton last week.
Yeah, I messed that one up. I thought Dalton would give them a better chance to win against Buffalo specifically, and
we all thought that.
I mean, Dalton he looked like he hasn't played in 5 years.
That sack he took before the half was just repugnant.
The only thing he did remotely well was throw it to Tet. Everything else was pretty bad. And he missed a throw to Tet too. I think it could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, in the end zone. Yep.
Well, and I guess, presumably Bryce Young's returning, but I don't like this at all, Graham. Like, I don't like anybody. Like, I mean, Tet, okay, but all this ancillary guys, forget it. No tight end, Leggett, you forget it. And then even the backfield.
Yeah, I am a little interested in Rico only because Dave Canales, I think, has kind of seen the light. I think he wanted to give Chuba a chance with, coming back from the injury, gave him 2 games. But there was a quote this week where he was basically saying, like, Rico's been exceptional. Like, we can't discount that. And I read that as like, I think this is probably going to be a 65, maybe 70-30 split rest of season. This spot, though, is just like horrific. Panthers have the 2nd lowest team total on the week at 15.8 points. Packers have been a sneaky, really good run defense all year, just giving up 3.7 yards per carry, very few explosive plays. I think Rico is still a flex just because he's been so good. And if he gets 15, 16 touches, he'll take a couple dump offs too. But I'm with you. I think it's really just like Tet, and that's kind of it in this matchup.
I like Tet. I do like Tet, but the Green Bay Packers, one way you can beat them is outside. Their outside corners aren't really outside corners. They're kind of, they're basically
Nate
slot
Hobbs,
safety. Nate Hobbs and Keyshawn Nixon. They're like basically converted slot corners. They basically play like 5 safeties is what they do.
They don't play any man, so I mean it's like all zone because of that.
All these disguise coverages, all these inversions and cloud coverage, like it's real deceptive and it's kind of cool. I like the way they're doing it, but they're soft outside. If they give Bryce any time whatsoever, that he should be able to put the ball at the Tet.
Now for Green Bay, I loved Love last week. That was easy call. I mean, easiest call of all time. I don't know why I didn't put it in my top 10 props. I had it like 6 stupidly, but I don't know about this week. It's like, you know what? The Packers are the Colts to me now. Like, I got to see them up against a team that's going to actually make them put the damn ball in the air, and I don't think that's Carolina, by the way. But Graham, I mean, Josh Jacobs what is going on? Is just completely worn down, or maybe it's just a combination that he's hurt, worn down. The O-line's not really opening up a lot of room. Like, what do you see there with Jacobs?
Yeah, when he's been given space, I think he's looked kind of like the same guy. Maybe this calf injury has kind of just lingered a little bit, but I mean, their offensive line has been just okay this year. I think they're middle of the pack in terms of their adjusted yards before contact, so they're not just out there mauling. But this is the bounce back spot for Jacobs. I think we were all on Love last week. John, you nailed that call. I think you were giving out his props and stuff. That was a great call. Steelers are just a terrible defense. This is like a polar opposite spot, though. I mean, they're 14-point favorites. Yeah. This screams Josh Jacobs 2-touchdown game to me.
Yeah. But I will say this, Brett. I do think it could be a type of game where they do make 3 big plays and then sit on it, because schematically it does look pretty good. The cover 3 stuff. And by the way, are you just locking in Tucker Kraft as a top 7 guy? That's it. Don't care what he does. He's in my lineup every week.
I mean, Kraft is awesome, right? Yeah, Kraft's pretty good. So Jordan Love's been awesome on script this year for sure. They're gonna get out to an early lead, and yeah, I do for the pass catchers in Green Bay. I worry that they're just gonna sit on it and just run the ball and kind of be conservative for the whole game.
But there are some good data points here on like the cover 3 stuff, looking good for Dobbs and Watson.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't disagree. I just
Yeah.
If it does turn into blowout territory, I mean, we've seen LaFleur kind of coast through games before. So
right. Well, if Matthew Golden Graham starts balling out, then my head may explode, because then now we can't have any hope figuring out this wide receiver group, because at least now Dobbs is number 1. I don't even know if there's a number 2. Like,
I mean, I'm out on Golden. I was kind of
Yeah.
like excited about him last week because we loved the spot for Love, and he threw for 360, and then
Yeah,
Matthew
that's what I
Golden just
mean.
like does absolutely nothing. Christian Watson is fully healthy, which I was
Right.
not prepared for. I thought
Right.
Watson would play and probably be a factor like by, I don't know, like week 14 while they're pushing for the playoffs, but he looked pretty good, fully
He looked
back.
like
he
the
got
guy.
starter level snap share week 1.
Yeah,
Which is
he's
great.
fully back, which just like kind of nukes Golden. So
Yeah.
I brought Golden way down in rest of season. I brought Dobbs down a little bit, but yeah, I had to bring Kraft way up. He's like tight end 3, I think, rest of season. It's like, yeah, he's just incredible, and he's a full-time role. It's like if he got a remotely decent target share every single week, it's just kind of been all over the place for him. Some weeks he's at like 12, some weeks he's at 25, like he was last week, 22%. If it starts getting a little more consistent for him, I mean, there's a legit chance he finishes the year as the tight end 1.
And don't forget, Jaden Reed, though, could be back in like 3-4 weeks, which would give him a great receiving core. It was great news for Love. But,
Yep.
I'm really surprised at how short-sighted people are. Like, all the accolades that Jordan Love was getting after the game, it's like, guys, they stink, the Steelers. Like, they play man. I mean, like, it was a good schematic. But, and I've been a biggest Love guy out there, but he is a little week to week here. So, like, I totally expected Love to do what he did. So I'm not that impressed. He should have done that. I would have been mad if he didn't. Actually, I said and wrote, if he doesn't produce in week 7 or 8, then forget it. Panic mode time. So I still don't love him here, though, quite frankly. Let's move on. Denver at Houston. And Brett, to you on what you've been saying for 3+ years on the Niners. If you can protect, forget it, you can throw on them, and they do not have any pass rush. I actually did like this. I kind of felt pretty good about Noel last week, and he was just back there doing his taxes in many ways. CJ Stroud, which is a rarity, and it won't happen here, but at least that was a good sign. Our guy Jalen Noel, man, he's got to get his snaps up, man. Yeah, that guy is balling.
He looks awesome. But CJ Stroud, worth noting, didn't take a single sack last week.
I know.
Do you know how bad your pass rush has to be? Not get one sack on CJ Stroud. Like, he invites you to sack him.
Yes.
Like, he welcomes it. He needs to feel that contact a couple times a game to be right. But man, they couldn't get him down one time. So that's pretty nuts here. Broncos are a different story though, and they are going to bring it. So, but
how about that first half though, when they were playing keep away for half?
Right.
It's like, oh my God, like McCaffrey's got like 1 carry. Anyways,
sure. Long drives. So the first time Houston has really been able to do that all year.
Yeah. Well, no Surtain, which helps. I'm presuming we're going to get Nico back. I mean, that's pretty big. But how much trust did Stroud and the Texans gain for you, Brett?
Probably not enough. I felt like Stroud was definitely on top of protecting a little bit better. He was diligent about getting the ball out a little faster. I think he had it was actually a season low time to throw, if I'm not mistaken. So that's notable. But this Broncos defense is a whole other animal. Even without Surtain, they're loaded in secondary. They've got corners coming out of their ears. Jalen McMillan, Jade Barron, one of my favorite players in this past draft. I think Riley Moss he gets picked on because he's the guy opposite Surtain. But
seems like he's always up on the dude's back pocket.
He's good. He
can run.
Handsy. Yeah, he's physical. He can run. He's just a little handsy. But guess what? DPIs don't score fantasy points. So I think that's something to legit monitor. Instead of giving up catches, he's giving up DPIs, which doesn't score his fantasy points.
Do them playing man a lot, does that help Stroud? I would think so. When Nico.
Yeah, most of these guys that struggle processing, the field a little bit, like getting through their reads, man's for sure going to help because it is more you see it and throw it. There's not as many safety rotations and disguises coming at you. So that'll help a little bit for sure. Nico and Higgins are both ball winners as well. I think that's a solid point there. And then Noel can obviously beat man coverage at will. So
Yeah. Dalton Schultz, not so much. So
No.
not a Schultz week. But any thoughts on Woodrow Marks here? Week to week proposition. They were pretty close in snap share, him and Chubb. Anything coming out of that game?
Yeah, Marks is a good receiver. Got doubled up Chubb in routes last week, but like you mentioned, their roles were very similar in terms of expected fantasy points. I still think Marks is like a pretty decent low end flex play. My one note in this game is that CJ Stroud right now is the third worst quarterback against pressure. Only Geno Smith and Cam Ward have a lower adjusted net yards per pass attempt than Stroud.
Wow.
That's factors in sacks, factors in interceptions.
Terrible company right there. Terrible.
Yeah, Cam Ward and Geno Smith's adjusted net yards per pass attempt is literally negative. CJ Stroud's is sub 1 yard. So, yeah, Broncos are, I think, top 5 in pressure rate. They lead the league in sack rate. I'm pretty scared off this Texans offense this week.
But how about this? And this does not bode well for Bo Nix. This is the lowest total on the board.
Yeah, 2 defensive juggernauts, man.
Yep.
This could be 13-10 Jets Broncos all over again.
Where are you at Bo Nix? I see. He crushed last week, and he's doing well for fantasy. But I think Bronco fans are getting a little impatient already.
Yeah, I talked about him this morning on the Sirius XM show with Joe and Paul. He definitely played his best game of the season this past week, but it was against, real soft defense. So
yeah.
I think the Cowboys are the elixir that heals all. Whether that continues or not, I don't know. But he threw that early pick, and then from that moment on, he was balling. I think the thing that stands out is he was definitely more comfortable pushing the ball downfield than he's been in any game this season. Again, that could be symptomatic of the Cowboys, though. You're not going to get those kind of looks against the Texans. So
right.
I think overall, I'm still kind of hesitant on this passing offense.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did they play more man last week, Dallas, again?
They're just so bad deep, to Brett's point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally the worst defense
Right.
in the NFL, and maybe one of the worst defenses we've seen in the last 3 years defending deep passes. Texans are one of the best. I mean, they don't give up anything hardly.
Which, by the way, speaking of, if he doesn't do it this week, panic. That's Marvin Harrison this week.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a nice game here, I mean, he has to. But and for Denver, how about RJ Harvey, Graham? Now, it's just funny. Somebody said on a live stream today, like they're thinking of cutting him. I'm like, he just scored 3 touchdowns. But I get it because he has not taken over at all. And this is it. We're just going to have to accept it. But Sean Payton does like a dual backfield. So anything on Harvey?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he played great. Obviously housed that long run, which was just a perfectly blocked play. He made the right read, but yeah, no role change. Only 28% of the snaps last week. Dobbins was still at 54%. So I'm pretty much unchanged on this backfield. I did bring Dobbins down just like a little bit in our rest of season rankings, but yeah, I mean, it's solely because he just gets like no work in the passing game and is kind of just stuck in this 15, 18 carry per game role. RJ Harvey's just like one of the best bench stashes in fantasy football. You can't cut him, but you also can't really rely on him either because the role really hasn't changed too much.
They implemented this Wildcat package with him.
Yeah.
A couple weeks in a row now, he's had a carry like that down on inside the 5. That could turn out to be something as the season goes on because
former quarterback, handling snaps. So,
yeah. Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims officially driving me insane.
You nailed that, John, on the Sunday start sit show with Tom. You were like, you think it's a Mims week? Nope, it's a Franklin week. And you're right.
Yep.
Mims is basically dead to me at this point. I'm a Team Franklin guy.
Yeah.
It's going to drive me crazy, though, probably till the end of time. So,
yeah. All the designs, that's all Peyton, right? The design stuff and he's got to get that in like every week. Maybe that's one of the reasons why RJ Harvey has not got a good enough role. Like, I don't know. That's Peyton though. Design targets, screens, and all that crap. But he did roll with 2 running backs, in New Orleans, quite a bit. Let's move on to Atlanta at New England. Don't look now, but New England might be a top 3 shutdown defense right now, Brett.
I am not surprised. This is a Mike Vrabel-led team. Defense is going to be a priority. He brought in Harold Landry, Milton Williams, Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis. Like they have dudes. Christian Barmore's healthy. I'm not really surprised, I guess, to see this. They already had the pieces there, and then he brought in some extra guys with him. This defense looks awesome, though. And I played my first ever under last week against Patriots with Quinchad Judkins rushing total.
Yeah.
Houston at 19 yards when he got hurt or something. I mean, in the fourth quarter, it was over. So
it was over.
That tells you how I feel about the Patriots defense, though. I never play unders, never, and that was my first one, and we hit it. So,
well, I've been preaching this all year. No wonder it's this week. I'm doing like half unders.
Nice
as an FU to everybody and the league and the sports books. But am I oversimplifying it? But like Michael Penix and London have been terrible against man coverage. So if you're New England, you just man them up and just strangle them, I think, right?
It's a Penix issue, not a London issue, I think.
Yeah. Okay. But like I don't see them moving the ball here.
I'm with you. I mean, Patriots have a good secondary. They've got a good run defense, and this pass rush has really come on. You look at the last month, only the Vikings and Lions have a higher pressure rate, according to our fantasy points data. They have just been really getting after it. And that's scary to think about. They're playing so well in the secondary with Gonzalez back. They're not really blitzing all that much, only about a quarter of the time. Yeah, Patriots, I picked up Patriots defense in all of my leagues. I was telling everybody to pick up Patriots defense late. I've just been riding them all year. I'm going to continue to do it in this spot. I mean, Atlanta does not scare me. This version of the Falcons offense does not scare me, especially when you consider, like Seahawks, Browns, Lions are probably the top 3 run defenses. I put the Patriots like 4th or 5th best at worst, I think, at this point. They've been playing awesome run defense all year.
Yeah, and Atlanta, I know they were home last week, right? But generally they've been pretty good at home, right? And pretty weak on the road. So this is not a good spot. Drake May, Brett, it did look like a little bit of a struggle bus last week.
Early on, yeah, he got it together though. But
yeah,
early on, took some crazy sacks. I had the bad interception, and then they slowly pulled away. But Garrett was trying to wreck that game plan for them single-handedly, and he almost did. But they got it together. The connection between May and Boutte is super real.
It's crazy.
I don't necessarily understand it, but
he's like the new. He's like him and Alec Pierce are the same guy now. Booty and Pierce.
Yeah, it almost. Yeah, there's some truth to that. I think the very frustrating thing is like who the second guy is going to be week in and week out. It's like, well, we had Mac Hollins catch 8 passes last week or something.
Oh, I know.
Like, what is up with that?
I know.
Yeah, Booty has only had 1 game with more than 8 targets, but every time I watch him, I'm impressed. He ran a route last week on Denzel Ward. It was like this comeback, out and up comeback, and he like basically stole Denzel Ward's ankles. Like the dude looks great, deserving of more targets. If the Patriots add a receiver at the deadline, like they could have a quietly very, very nice group.
Yeah,
his long receptions are freaking impressive, considering he has been between 1 and 5 targets every week since week 1. Yet he still has 39, 39, 29, 19, 18, 20, 14, 24.
May's balling. Booty's a good receiver, but May is just balling. Like,
right. And by the way, how about this number? And this will tell you when you're doing it this well, everyone's balling. You're balling as a receiver. Your quarterback is balling. Your OC's freaking balling. He is averaging 8. I know it's a smaller sample, but 18.7 yards a catch with a 77% catch rate.
Wow. That's video game efficiency. It's crazy.
That is nuts. 23 of 30 targets, and he's averaging almost 19 yards a catch. It's got to be May. It's got to be him too. Graham, what happened last week with Travion Henderson? Was it simply Josh McDaniels like, all right, we're halfway. It's 2 months in, so I'm going to start trying to get him in
No,
space.
Ramondre's hurt now, right?
Yeah, Ramondre's hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't. He
Okay.
missed practice today. They brought up Dearness Johnson.
Oh my God!
I
But even
think
before that, Travion showed some signs of life.
I think that's why he played a little more last week because Stevenson got hurt. I'm not entirely sure exactly when he did. The good news is they did give him some like off tackle stuff. And this was the thing I said with him coming out of college. Like he's going to be able to run off tackle. The outside zone stuff will be okay. It's just the inside grinder carries. Like I really question his vision. And then last week they didn't give him any inside carries. It was all off tackle, design, point and shoot stuff. And he looked good. They just need to continue to do that because this is just my opinion. But I think, their only weakness, the Patriots' really only weakness right now is their run blocking. And, they've just not consistently blocked well. They don't really have a great run blocker at tight end either. That's the one weakness. I think this run game, Stevenson and Henderson, say what you want about their talent, but that's the one thing. It's like they just have not had a well-designed run game all year.
Right. Couple of moments with Stevenson, but yeah, overall it's leaves something to be desired, like the Niners pass rush as we move on to that game. Niners at the Giants. Don't know about the Giants. I love that. That's John Gruden.
I say that every single time I'm watching the Giants game. My wife loves that.
Yeah,
Scream it across the room.
Because that's the way John Gruden used to talk. He'd get all fired up. He's like, if you want to play a good team, here's one, the Giants.
Jason Sehorn, forever a Gruden grinder.
Yeah. I don't know about McCorkle Jones. I don't know about Ricky. So it's a tough one. But Brett, I know you like McCaffrey to make some hay in this one against the Giants. Pretty bad run defense.
Giants have the worst run defense in the league. They are giving up 5.73 yards per carry, which is insane. 0.155 EPA per run, 48.6% success rate. And then here's the kicker, an 18% explosive run rate as defined as 10 carries, 10 plus yards or more. So that's really bad. So I like McCaffrey a lot in this game. We know the 49ers are very stubborn in their usage of McCaffrey. Even when it's not going well, they'll still give him the ball 25 times. So he gets 20 carries in this one. It's going to be for over 100 yards easy.
Has Abdul Carter played this year? I mean, I know I'm kidding, but
he's not been an impact player at all. I was thinking about that on my walk today. I was thinking about this game. I was like, man, what the hell has Abdul Carter been doing? It's funny you just brought that up.
He's been better as a pass rusher, obviously.
Yeah.
Pressure rate and win rate are fine. But yeah, they're having a hard time figuring out what to do with this. They have a three-man rotation
because Burns is good too.
Yeah, but and Burns also not great against the run, and they've actually been trying to play all three of them together, which is Thibodeau at like 3 technique. It's not working.
Yeah, well, Thibodeau's never been a good run defender. That's been his problem forever. But yeah.
Well,
John, you mentioned real quick. You mentioned that when we were talking Texans, just kind of have to throw that Niners game away. They had an 18-minute time of possession last week. They only ran 42 plays. That's unheard of with the Niners. So, just throw that game away. I like Juwan Jennings in this spot. I got to say, like the usage has been pretty good. Full-time route share. I think he's been above a 22% target share in back-to-back games now. You mentioned Pearsall still questionable with the knee injury. Giants have been sneaky bad in the secondary. Obviously, their pass rush is pretty good, but their secondary is pretty bad. They're like bottom 12 in fantasy points allowed to outside, inside receivers. I know the box scores have not been good for Juwan Jennings. Trust me, I've got him on a few teams, but I'm excited about him in this spot, though.
We do show it as a good schematic there.
Yep.
Probably man coverage. Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it, but one thing I know is Georgie Kittle, not the best matchup of all time, but him back is huge for the running game and for George. But on the other side here, Graham, for your boy Jackson Dart, I have to be completely honest. Based on what I've seen, I haven't studied it like you or other data charters, but I don't know. I'm already preparing for a hype machine next year and for him to take a little bit of a step back. But that's a way out there in the future. I mean, I got to give him credit though. It seems like chaos out there, but yet he's kind of getting it done still, even last week, running, obviously. But, I mean, somebody's got to step up, maybe Slayton. I think that's the only hope here. But at the very least, Jackson Dart should be once again reading novels in the pocket back there.
I'm just playing him as a must-start quarterback in fantasy. I mean, he's just been incredible. 22.5 fantasy points per start. That would make him the third most productive rookie quarterback of all time. Only Deshaun Watson and Cam Newton were more productive on a per-game basis as rookie quarterbacks. It's better than Jaden Daniels last year, better than Justin Herbert's rookie season, better than RG3's rookie season. And yeah, he's doing it without Malik Neighbors. The hype is going to be insane on Dart. I think he'll probably be like a 4th or 5th round pick next year, John. I'm with you. I haven't gotten far enough yet, but I would imagine he's going to be a very, very hyped player this coming season. Yeah, I just think he's a must start player. And last week, Slayton, I think it was Brett. Was it a 70-yard touchdown?
68-yard touchdown callback.
That was a complete BS. The officiating in that entire game was awful, but that was one of the most ticky tack OPIs I've seen all year. So Dart had a huge play wiped off.
True.
And
it was ticky tack, but I as soon as I saw it happen, I was like, they're gonna call that.
Yeah.
And then but it was mutual contact was the part that's frustrating.
Exactly.
Him, as he's kind of straightening his arm out, which
just let that go. Just let it go. If they're both using hands, just let it go and let the play run.
I mean, this could be a Slayton day. I mean, I think it is. I'm kind of feeling it here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's pretty good, and I noticed like downfield, but they get him on crossers and things like that where he can run after the catch, Brett. And Theo Johnson stinks.
Yes. His feel for zone coverages is hilarious. He has
my God,
no feel whatsoever. And then he's trying to do this scramble drill stuff with Jackson Dart. Like that, Bellinger's kind of emerged because he actually has feel. Like he feels the game. Theo's just strictly athlete at this point.
Yeah.
And that's really it. But when you're reactionary, you don't see the athleticism pop because you're behind the play. Your point on Slayton though is good. He's a very underrated receiver. And with Neighbors in the lineup, like Slayton and Wandell and Neighbors together are a much better unit than I think they got credit for. Now Slayton's kind of having to be the number one, and he's not that good, but he's definitely, he can make some things happen, especially against, man coverage.
Absolutely.
So
I'm just feeling a 100-yard day here for Slayton. Well, hell, should have had one last week, right?
Yep.
I've always been a Wandale guy too, but I don't know. He's balling. He's doing pretty well this year. I didn't think he would do crap last week. I don't know if he hit the prop, but he came close.
I think he came 1 yard short. I think he had 48. I think he had 48.
I think you're right.
I think what is his prop? 49.5, I think.
I think it was, yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. Because I was eyeballing the under. I was like, you know what? Nah. Yeah. And of course that hit.
I'm not taking unders with Jackson Dart, man. That dude's awesome. Brett, you've made some incredible calls, but I think Dart is going to end up being your like magnum opus. He's incredible.
But that said, though, Brett,
like the ball placement, the play extension, he's lights out. Like we immediately know he's great.
If the hype train, let's say the Giants get a tight end and get Neighbors back, and let's say the hype train has Dart pulling out of the station as a 5th rounder. I don't know, Brett. Would you sign off on that?
I need them to sign a guard and draft a tackle, a right tackle, and I'd be in probably. But
fair enough. We'll talk Indy Colts at Pittsburgh Steelers, and hey, Graham, I'll go to you. Start him if you got him for the Colts. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally it. That's the way I'm going to write up this game too. It's just like, Steelers have been awful in the secondary. I was just wrong about this defense. They're just terrible. Pass rush is okay, but their secondary is not any good. And Pittman, Downs, Warren, just play him. Daniel Jones, he'll probably score 18, 19 fantasy points in his sleep in this spot. And then if the Steelers kind of keep this game close, he's got a chance for 25 for sure. I'm with you on this game. I think the one question I wanted to ask Brett, like, what have you seen with DK Metcalf this year? He's been a total enigma. Like, his usage is like wide receiver 4 worthy for fantasy in terms of targets, volume, expected fantasy points. He's living off touchdowns. What have you seen with Metcalf?
They can't hit him on anything deep. It's weird. Everything's like hitches and comebacks, and
he's got guys all over him too, though.
The separations just seemingly not.
I mean, I wrote last week in the Hansen Sense article, I said DK Metcalf's a 27-year-old receiver who's playing like he's 37.
Yeah, I'm looking up his man win rate. Yeah, it's down at like 14% this year. His zone win rate's like 10%.
Yeah, that's bizarre. He's always been a great like always crushes man coverage. So
Yep.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
all right.
And circumstantially, I don't know that they do him a lot of favors with all of the 13 personnel and like, you know, the ISO looks he gets, because he's just going to have a safety over him on every single route that he runs. So it's like your options are what? Run him on a basic, run him on a hitch. But like he ain't getting open downfield with the way he's getting treated right now. They really need Roman Wilson to continue to elevate a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I thought between Roman and Calvin Austin, maybe they'd have a little bit of juice, but you know, trade deadline coming up, like that. There's a team in theory they could use like Rashid Shaheed. I'd rather see Shaheed over in Buffalo though.
Shaheed would be a great fit. You know, I'm a big Shaheed fan, but he'd be an awesome fit in this offense. What's crazy is, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is playing better than he's played in 3-4 previous years. And this defense is just Tomlin and this defense is just not held up at all,
which is inexplicable because they loaded up.
I know. Yeah.
And they have the horses and the trenches. I don't understand how they're this bad.
I mean, Jamar Chase called him out. He said that we knew what they were going to run. They ran it every single play. They just ran the same exact cover 3 and they just killed him. I mean,
problem is Mike Tomlin is like a college professor who got tenure 16 years ago. I mean, that's how I feel, you know.
Here's got a crazy stat for this defense. They've given up 49 pass plays of 15 plus yards already, and they've already had their bye week. That's
by the way, Tomlin is a secondary guy. He's a pass defense guy. That's right.
Yeah.
It's funny. Sean McDermott is too, and these two teams both suck on the back ends.
I mean, they're giving up. That's like 7 or 8 big plays a week. That's crazy.
It's what the Ravens were doing last year when they were getting torched.
Yeah, right.
Really,
and then of course they got 17 tight ends. I don't even think I like any receiver here for the Steelers.
I did just see a tweet. Pat Fryermuth hurt his quad apparently, so we might get, you know, whatever you said, 13 tight ends. We might get 12. You know,
Jonnu looks slower this yeyear.
Yeah, he's barely playing too.
Yeah,
he doesn't look slower than Darnell Washington.
Yeah, Darnell Washington is basically a glorified right tackle.
If there ever was a tight end that is a glorified right tackle, it would be him.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of others in the past, but he's up there. Yeah. And then real quick on the backfield, do you see anything? I mean, Warren seemed to hold off Gainwell a little bit, right? I mean, Warren still held pretty firm.
We took a little victory lap a couple weeks ago, John, with Warren, and then they immediately played Ken Gainwell. I think our victory lap was right, though. They've kind of gotten away from Gainwell. Warren is awesome. Like sneakishly, I think I looked this up this morning or last night. I think he's RB6 or RB7 in yards from scrimmage per game. Like just sneakishly, like really, really good this season.
Kind of like a machine. Like I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
I saw something about his training regimen. He's like carrying an entire.
He's rocked up.
Like
he's
carrying like a mobile homes behind him climbing up mountains.
Yeah, he's rocked up, and they're rightfully giving him this like 65-70% role. I think that's just the right call.
Yeah. Every time I victory lap on anything, the football gods answer, boom. It's just like last week, I kept saying, oh, look at me. The last 6 weeks, my top 5 props are 66%. 2-3 this week. The bottom 9 were 8-1. So, you know, that's what the NFL does to me whenever I talk crap about anything good. The Chargers at the Titans. And I am known for making hot takes on small samples, I will say, but hey, sometimes that's what you have to do because once the sample increases, everybody knows that this guy's good. I'm looking at this DK guy, Brett, and I'm thinking like, I think he might be the guy going forward, like their leading receiver going forward. Am I overstating that? And Calvin Ridley out of practice, he's Calvin Diddley for the rest of his career, as far as I'm concerned.
No, I don't think you're overstating it. I mean, I personally like Ayamanor better. I think Ayamanor does more things at a higher level, but DK is definitely more explosive. He's going to win downfield a little bit more, and Ward has a bazooka for an arm. So I think it's a really good pair. I'm kind of excited to see both these guys grow with Ward. It's kind of cool to get a quarterback linked up with 2 rookies that, you know, they weren't super touted, guys. What, a third and a fourth round pick here with these two? So
Yeah.
or two was it 2 fourth round picks? Actually.
DK was a third, and
Okay.
Ayamana was a fourth. I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't blame you for thinking that for sure.
Plus, you got Gunnar Helm. You can't stop Gunnar Helm.
Gunnar Helm is Dalton Schultz on steroids.
Yeah, I know. But I just like him. It's a cool name. I do believe in the name theory, by the way. If you're rolling with Gunnar Helm, you're probably kind of a badass. Just saying.
Scott Barrett calls it nominative determinism. That's why Jackson Dart's good as well. And Diesel Dart, Jackson's brother, will be even better because
I totally agree with it. Debo Samuel would be soft if his name wasn't Debo. Let's look at, well, do we have to, Graham? Where are you with this backfield? I will say this. My guy, Tajay Spears, ripped off that 41-yarder. Looked like it was shot out of a cannon.
Sexy run.
Yeah, he looked great, fully healthy. He's just dealt with so many injuries really his whole career. He's playing without an ACL. Man, I just full fade this backfield though, if you can. The last 2 weeks, it's just been a complete split. Pollard, 53% of the snaps, Spears at 47%, just complete direct split. I mean, they're both playing in the passing game too.
Yeah.
And yeah, this week, I mean, how long is this game really going to be competitive? I know the Chargers are known for charging every once in a while, but yeah, this definitely feels like a wheelhouse spot for LA.
The problem is we don't know who's the hurry up back. Okay, you're down 20.
Yeah, it's both of them. I think we're just going to keep seeing this. They're going to split drives.
Yeah.
It's just
but hey, Spears is good. He is good. So you got.
I hope that Spears is the guy next year. I think that's what we're hoping for. Maybe
I just don't know. Just don't know if he can handle it. You know what I mean? Like, he's to me a dual backfield guy. The problem is Pollard is not diverse enough from Spears. You know what I mean, Brett? Like, Spears would be good with a bigger. I mean, like, it's a bad example, but like a Tyler Algier guy or something like that.
That's exactly. Ironically, Algier's a free agent. Maybe he signs in Tennessee next year. Who knows?
That would be a good backfield, honestly.
Yeah, it really would be. Yeah, like a David Montgomery, Tyler Algier type. Pollard and Spears are very similar, and Pollard just doesn't have the juice he used to either. So he's like he's more of like a Kyron Williams even at this point.
There you go, exactly.
Rather than
less explosive.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally. And your boy Gadsden, unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a guy, in like starting game 4 of the rookie year be, he wasn't irrelevant, but no one was talking about Gadsden after week 3. And, his last 3 games, I don't think I've ever seen a tight end come out of nowhere and dominate. Like, he's got to be the tight end 1. So what is the residual effects of this? It seems like it's kind of helping Ladd, and that Quentin Johnson's like no more.
Ladd's run more routes than any wide receiver in the NFL this year.
I know.
And that came out of nowhere. He was not playing all the snaps weeks 1 and 2. Then all of a sudden was just like bang. So it's for sure helping Ladd. I think they finally figured out, their 12 personnel looks, which is like, hey, we're gonna have an X receiver on the field, and then we're gonna have Ladd on the field, and everything else that kind of falls where it is. And I think it's a good thing for the offense. I do wonder if Quentin Johnson starts to lose snaps to Keenan Allen or even a Trey Harris at some point, just because. And I know I've been a big Johnson supporter, but like the production really hasn't been there in the last few weeks, right? I think
Trey Harris plays. They play Trey Harris.
Yeah, mostly rundowns right now, but they bring him in to block.
He's a good blocker.
Yes, he very good blocker, excellent blocker, and Harbaugh's old school like that. No block, no rock. So get some.
That's a good one. I never heard of that one. That's a good one. Maybe I did a while ago, but that's a good one. Graham, they did trade McCreary for what it's worth in Tennessee.
Yeah, they've been trading. They're just full on fire sale mode.
That could be good for Ladd.
Yeah, they'll Titans will probably keep selling as well. Ladd. He's just after that one catch game against the Giants. He's just been. Sorry, the Giants. He's been awesome. 20% or more of the targets in 4 straight games. Last week he was up at 40%. Brett, you were saying, and you're just ahead of the curve on this one a couple weeks ago, that this team is kind of morphing into more of a 2 tight end, 12 personnel approach. And that's actually hurt Keenan Allen really badly. 26% snap share last week was a season low. He was basically just playing like high leverage third downs, and that's really kind of it. With Gadsden playing full time, Plus, they're playing a little more Tucker Fisk. I think it kind of hurts both Keenan and Quentin Johnston, this Gadsden breakout.
Yeah.
Ladd is just locked in, though. I mean, he's like a really high-end wide receiver too, rest of season. Maybe we see him pop as like the wide receiver 10 for the rest of the way.
Good lesson on not panicking on a guy because we were
Yep.
a little scared early.
Well, I felt like I was taking crazy pills with Ladd. I was like, I'm the only guy on the site who's not freaking out because Herbert's playing really well. It's the best we've seen Herbert play in a long time, maybe his entire career. And this he'll get it right. Like this is Herbert's guy. And what do you know? Last 4 games, it's just been pretty much all Ladd is their number one.
I just found out Justin Herbert is a chess player like I am, and we have a very similar elo actually. So
damn,
a lot more respect for Justin now. I think I'm elevating him in my QB rankings because of his chess elo.
Not to mention the supermodel girlfriend. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, vibes are extremely high on Justin Herbert right now. Extremely.
Yeah. Damn it, I had a thought, but it fell out. But that's fine. We can move on.
Real quick, Theo and I were talking about this on our show, the Start Sit show, just a couple hours ago. Omarion Hampton is apparently still in a walking boot after the game last Thursday, and there was some talk that he's probably going to miss more time on IR than just the 4 games.
Like a month, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I think their bye is week 12, so maybe it's like a week 13. He's coming back. So if you've got Kamani Vidal or you've got a trade deadline coming up and maybe somebody's thinking, hey, they're going to get Hampton back in like a couple games, I think Vidal is actually a decent buy right now.
He looks good. What the heck?
Yeah. This offense is awesome, and he's taken a big step forward this year.
He looks decisive, explosive, physical, way more physical than I thought. So,
but this happened. I've learned my lesson so many times on this one. Like, you really can't base a guy, judge him until you see him getting the ball, getting volume.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like with no worried about like, oh, I got to do this right, or they're going to pull me. Like he's getting the volume and seemingly getting better with the volume, which makes sense. How do you get better without getting the volume? But there it is. I think he's a pretty decent asset right now. New Orleans Saints at the LA Rams. Who's not a pretty decent asset? Alvin Kamara. Maybe Tyler Shuck, though, will check it down a little bit more, Graham, because freaking Spencer Rattler, like he'd rather like get caned than check it down.
He'd rather take a huge rib shot from a 300-pound lineman than check it down. Yeah, I think Shuck probably scrambles a little bit more, which probably hurts Kamara. Shuck was a decent pocket extension guy. I mean, he was okay.
You think he scrambles more than Rattler?
I mean,
was it Rattler like?
Rattler runs.
Rattler scrambles, but like Shuck, he's gonna have to. Shuck can move a little bit, right, Brett? Like a little.
Yeah, he can. He's just really long. Like his change of direction is just not great. But.
Well, the big thing for me, man, is like, you mix in the fact that, okay, it's a new quarterback. Probably this offense takes a step back. Shuck can run. Devin Neal actually outsnapped Kamara in the passing game last week. It's over for Kamara.
It's over.
I think
Devin Neal's out there catching balls early in the game.
He looked good in pass pro too.
I know.
Really good in pass pro.
He's a professional running back.
Yeah.
Guy,
Devin Neal. Yeah, I loved him. I don't know why he went in the 6th round. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, yeah. We should be pumping him up on the waiver wire a little bit more, maybe, because
I think he's a really good bench stash rest of season, because they're going to eventually be like, hey, let's just see what we got with this guy. This is a 100%. Dead season. Let's just see what we got.
100%.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think them starting Shuck in this game is actually an endorsement of Spencer Rattler?
I think it's an ownership thing. I think the ownership came down because Brett, do you think Rattler deserved to be benched? I think he's playing. Yeah, exactly. He's playing well enough not to.
He's a top 12-ish QB in the league so far this season.
Yeah.
I mean, the turnovers were a bit much. He had
some horrific sacks, but other than that, he's ran the offense well. I think they just wanted to see what they've got with Shuck. They know it's a dead season.
Bro, this is not the spot to do that. The Rams are vicious.
You're right. You think they're setting them up to fail? So we got a little like 10-foil hat going on here.
I'm saying Shuck is going to take 5-6 sacks. He's going to turn the ball over 2 to 4 times.
Yeah, true.
Like this is going to be ugly for a
Rams out of a bye too. They've got all their dudes healthy. Yeah.
Actually, to John's point, how quickly is the ball going to be out of Shuck's hand in this game? They're going to coach him to just catch and throw.
Olave is going to catch 9 balls for 70 yards. Then there you go.
Olave is going to have a 1.2 yard ADOT and all that. I thought Shuck did make a couple of throws. I thought he threw it relatively well.
arm talent's never been an issue. He's got a fantastic arm. It's just he's kind of soft between the ears, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the Rams getting Puka back. I mean, what else do we need? You don't need us to tell you. You know, Stafford and not Stafford, Puka and Devontae should crush this secondary.
Pie too, yeah.
They're going to kill him. The Rams are going to absolutely
kill him.
Yeah, they're going to crush him. I want to give Stafford some love too. He's a guy who's always kind of been a low ceiling quarterback for fantasy, at least with the Rams. With the Lions, he had some huge games. They've been just kind of like efficiency for a couple of years with Stafford, but he's got right now a career high in touchdown rate at 7%. He's QB 10 in fantasy points per game, only a 10th of a point behind Dak. Stafford is like not just a top 12 quarterback rest of season. He's like pretty much a must start, like in spots like this against, the Saints, 14-point home favorites attached to this huge team total. Stafford is just, he's playing an extremely high level, and it's turning in. That's the thing. Stafford's always played an extremely high level, but it's actually turning into fantasy production this year.
And it's part of me is rejoicing. You know why? The man has -2 yards and he's a QB1. That's beautiful.
Him and Goff are holding it down for the pocket passers, man. They really are.
That is exactly right. I technically have more rushing yards on the season this year than Matt Stafford. And we dig that about him because he's second in touchdown passes. Actually, he's tied for first with Mahomes in one fewer game.
Yep.
So he's Mr. 2 to 3 tutties every single damn week. Because, by the way, Kyron's kind of slowing down a little, but he'll get the ball here. Adams, Puka looking good. Let's move on to Jacksonville at the LV Raiders. I don't even know what to start with the Raiders. I guess Brock Bowers is coming back, Graham.
Yeah. Full participant today in practice, so they'll get Bowers back. That's exciting.
Yeah.
But Geno Smith is not.
No.
So Aiden O'Connell's coming back though too, man.
Yeah, I saw that. He broke his wrist in August, so maybe Geno's played so badly, like they might just go to O'Connell.
I say so, yeah. Or Pickett, either or. Anybody but I've been saying ABG, anyone but Geno.
Well, they just have so much money in Geno. They're just like, it's kind of like,
yeah. But does Pete Carroll? At some point it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Yeah. That's your guy you brought over. This is what you're doing. Well, he's really bad. Yeah. Speaking of really bad, Trevor Lawrence, Graham. It does seem like their edict has been handed down to make Travis Hunter the new number 1 wide receiver, basically.
I have a hot take. I think Hunter outscores BTJ rest of season.
I don't think that's a hot take, Graham.
I think they want that. They're going to try for that.
Well, I feel better about that take because I changed the rest of season rankings to reflect that. Hunter was really starting to come on. The production was not there until that Rams game, but I thought he was getting open at a pretty decent rate. And then, the huge breakout game against the Rams. The big thing is just, he's full-time now at receiver, over an 80% route share in back-to-back games. And Brett, I can't explain the BTJ thing. The only thing I've really seen on tape is like any ball that is thrown away from his body, he is like legitimately looks afraid to catch. You know what I mean? Like, anything that's away from his body, he's just like afraid of contact, afraid to get hit. I don't know if it's something that can be fixed in like a couple of weeks. I don't know if it's something that, he's got an injury maybe to his ribs or shoulders. I have no idea. I can't explain it, but looks
like a wounded dog out there. Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. And Travis Hunter is not shying, even though he's tiny, man. He's a skinny little guy, but he's not shying away from contact. He's a playmaker out there, and I think rest of season Hunter he's not going to pay off the ADP that he was going at like 5th, 6th round, but I think he's going to be a pretty good like wide receiver too for fantasy.
By the way, why did we get Diami Brown again?
Decent field stretcher, but yeah.
He should have stayed in Washington.
Yes. That would have really helped, man, because Parker Washington is not the same type of player, but he's pretty good. He catches the ball. Graham, what are you doing with ETN? I actually, after he had 1 or 2 big games, I actually said, sell. This guy stinks. But actually, the last 2 weeks, because these are just small windows that you're working with for a month here and there. But I actually like their schedule. But at some point, might they bail on him and go with Tootin in the final year of ETN's rookie deal? They are still well within, obviously, the range to win the division, though.
Yeah, that's the thing is they're right in the midst of this AFC South run. I think ETN's a really good sell right now. It's tricky because he's played well enough to not necessarily lose the job, but they've also got to see what Bashal Tootin can do in a bigger role, and they're coming out of the bye. I could absolutely see Liam Cohen kind of leaning into that, scheming up some more runs for Tootin. I think ETN's a pretty decent sell right now. Like if you're like 6-2 or 5-3, feeling really good about your running back group, and you drafted ETN late, maybe you got him for $1 or $2 in an auction or something like that. Yeah, I think he's a really good sell right now. Tootin is like RJ Harvey, though. You can't really trust him more than like a dart throw flex, but he's like, if something were to happen, he's among the best bench stashes in fantasy right now.
Do you look at ETN as really disappointing because
he's kind of been a big play merchant?
Right.
To be honest with you, like he's had a couple of explosives that looked great where they've blocked very well from him. He's gotten a clear, defined lane, and he's looked good. But it's the same thing as always with ETN. The grinder carries. It's just like he's not really creating too much on his own. And all of our advanced metrics here at Fantasy Points data like prefer Tootin, at least on a per carry basis. He's been, more elusive in terms of missed tackles forced. He's been a little better after contact too. So I could certainly buy Tootin kind of being more of a thorn in ETN side. And this is not like the Broncos backfield. Like J.K. Dobbins has done nothing to lose that job. Yeah. I think ETN's kind of, as always, kind of slows down midseason.
Kansas City at Buffalo. And I see here just an early look, pretty good schematic matchup for a lot of the receivers for Kansas City. I'm not exactly sure why. I haven't looked into it that much, but we'll go to you, Graham. Speaking of, we're talking a lot players to trade for. I had Isaiah Pacheco last week as a trade for.
Oh man,
looked pretty good, but that knee injury. I mean, what does that do? I mean, is it Kareem Hunt all day? I mean, Brashard Smith, I don't know if he's ready for much.
Yeah, Pacheco, poor guy, got his knee caved in. Did you guys see his reaction after they tested his ACL? It was pretty funny. He was so excited he didn't pop his ACL. He's like high-fiving his teammates.
Wow.
It's still going to be a multi-week injury for him, though, unfortunately. And yeah, as gross as it is, no one wants to hear this. It's 13 carries for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns for Kareem Hunt time
every day. Yep.
I'll take the tutties.
Yeah, we'll take those 6 points count, man. We'll probably see a few more design targets for Brashard Smith. He's just not been effective as a runner at all, to my eye. They give him design stuff, and that's really about it. If anything, guys, like we were calling Rashee Rice to trade for him in like week 2 and 3, this will just be even more Rashee Rice. Dude is averaging 24 PPR points per game through 2 weeks. John, I bumped him up to wide receiver 2 in rest of season, only behind Puka. It's really close between Puka, Chase, Rice, JSN, and Amon-Ra is clearly the 5 in that group, I think. But the top 4 is really, really close. Rice, though, is just Brett's been saying it for 2 years. He's their run game. And you mentioned, I think his release package has gotten a little better. He looks great off the line of scrimmage really quick.
He caught that I don't know if it was officially a deep ball, but he smoked the dude off the line.
Yeah, man. Okay, so if you mix in all the stuff they do with like the designs and the crossers, and then you mix in he can run deep too, like, man, he could average 25 points per game for the rest of the season.
Oh, he's got it going on. How about Travis Kelce, tight end 5?
Yeah, he broke off that, there was no one on that side of the field when he was blocking.
He has 2 plays like that this year.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, that was like that was it. But he scored a touchdown last week too. So
hey, I mean the numbers.
John, tight end is so bad this year. Kelsey's probably going to finish like tight end 9, and it's going to be disgusting. But
yeah, I know. I was actually in on him this year because I'm like, you know what, 5th, 6th round.
Well, Mahomes is playing so well, and they can absolutely support multiple receivers. So.
Yep. I also like Mandrews actually. That's not going all that well, but Xavier Worthy. I mean, he did make that play last week, but it feels like he's just ancillary now.
It's the Rice offense. Brett, what have you seen from Worthy the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, same issues I've always had with him. Just not a physical player at all. You get hands on him at the line of scrimmage, he's cooked. No, even at the catch point, no desire to play through contact. And like even his route running, like he doesn't get to his landmarks. I see the same issue with Matthew Golden actually, where just they in a vacuum, like if you put them in Senior Bowl one-on-one drills, they look like awesome route runners,
right?
But it's more backyard style football where it's like they kind of invent their own release packages. They kind of, the route depths are all mixed. So you see Mahomes get really frustrated with them in the game, every game. It's like they'll have him on a 9-yard out route and he'll run it 7 yards depth and don't get a first down. And it's like, well, dude, what are you doing? Like, we can't have that stuff. So surprised more people don't talk about it, honestly, because it's been something I've noticed since his first game in the NFL.
That is great insight right there from Brett Whitefield on Xavier Worthy. And Mahomes has very high standards. You get in his shit list, it's not good, as Sky Moore knows very well. What else here? Well, for Buffalo, it is frustrating, but James Cook just taking over. Like it's not going to happen every week. But I loved Shakir last week. That was great. But I also did the Kincaid prop. He gets a 24-yarder. Here we go. We got 78% of the prop on one catch. Then they don't throw him another ball. So we'll see if they add another weapon here. But James Cook, Brett, to you, Steve Spagnuolo is probably going to sell out to stop him, I would think.
Yeah, he is going to. I don't know what that will look like.
So good though.
Effective against the Lions, stopping Gibbs, right? I think that was the one this year.
There you go. That's what he does now. He's looking to take out your best thing, I think.
Yep. Yeah, I think on paper they don't have a great run defense, but when Spagnuolo commits to it, it's over.
Like the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And traditionally, they like to play a lot of too high on early downs to take away deep passing opportunities, but against the Lions, they rolled that extra defender in the box. So you'll see a lot of that too. They're going to have Shakir win some of these and Kincaid.
Yeah.
In this past game with the Panthers, once the Bills realized they could run the ball the way they were, Kincaid didn't see the field. I mean, It was 12 personnel with Knox and who's their big Jackson Hawes.
Yeah, Hawes.
And they were just bulldozing the Panthers. I mean, it was nasty. So, you get into a little bit more pass heavy script. I think Kincaid becomes a little more reliable for you. But
yeah, that's a great point for sure. I mean, KC has not been giving up a ton to tight ends, but Ertz got 4 grabs at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we're covered there. Not that we're going to say anything positive about Keon Coleman, but I hate to say it, but maybe like I said, they probably will need him. They do play a decent amount of man. He is the man beater. Seattle at, and Palmer's been hurt. Seattle at Washington. And, what are your thoughts on DC's backfield, Graham? Like, this is a disaster right now.
Yeah, it is a disaster. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is just basically a, early down grinder. And if they lose, kind of control the game script, they get behind, it's going to be a lot of Jeremy McNichols. Like we saw, we've been on this with him. Horrible matchup too. Seattle arguably has the best run defense in the league, giving up under 3 yards per carry. They're the only team in the NFL that has not given up an explosive runner 15 or more yards. I had Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt on the sit list last week. I'm going to have him on the sit list this week as well. Commanders have just been snake bitten, man. Terry McLaurin re-injured his quad. He's not going to play in this game.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that just came down. I just saw a tweet 5 minutes ago. So, it'll be all Debo. We'll probably get a little Chris Moore mixed in. Luke McCaffrey's kind of come on, but yeah.
Ertz is catching 7.
Yeah, that's probably about right with Jane Daniels in this spot coming back. So this game has some sneaky shootout potential with Daniels back, by the way.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I think they Seahawks defense, like I said, their run defense is good, but their secondary has been a little exploitable with no McLaurin though. I might have to change my opinion. That's the way I wrote it up earlier this morning. I might change it with no McLaurin though.
But they do play a lot of 2 high safeties, which is Debo and Ertz.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of underneath. Man, Seattle though, like I want to give Sam Darnold some love too. Like, I think rest of season we could be talking about him as like not top 10 for fantasy, but like top 15 for sure. I mean, he's been pretty good.
I think he's just a tick below where he was with the Vikings last year.
Basically, yeah. He was
which
like
made him
QB8 last year for Vikings. I think, QB 14-ish rest of season for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
he's
doubt.
playing cleaner ball than he was with the Vikings too.
Yeah, he's basically
true.
clipped his sack rate in half.
Yep.
With a worse offensive line, by the way.
And still, we haven't charted him at fault for any of those sacks this year. He led the NFL last year in that category.
Speaking a lot about players to trade for, I finally broke down and added Ken Walker to the list just for spite. Not really for spite. Just sometimes I get like, oh, enough is enough with Zach Charbonnet. But who knows, right? I mean, Brett, do you think that they'll pivot away a little bit if we continue to carry the ball for 2.9 yards a pop, which is what Charbonnet is?
Every time I plant a flag here, I'm wrong. I've been right.
Okay. Well, I'm planting it now because I've waited 9 weeks to plant it. So
the only thing I keep coming back to is like they could probably play Walker way more in early downs, but they love him in short yardage. I mean, it's been like a 75-25 split at the goal line. I think Charbonnet has 13 carries to Walker's 5. So
that's what I said when they drafted Charbonnet.
Maybe
he's going to get all the goal line carries.
Well, there you go. That's what
downhill, decisive.
Yeah. Well, it's because Walker is such a flight risk. Like,
yes,
he can give you a -5 on the goal line that screws up your whole operation. Like, that's.
Yeah, they love that north-south from Charbonnet.
Yeah.
Real quick, just to jump back to Darnold, I like this spot a lot for him. The Commanders have kind of been sneaky bad. The secondary, only Dallas, Chicago, and Cincinnati are giving up more passing fantasy points per dropback than the Commanders. They're giving up 8.4 yards per pass attempt. That's a league high. Dallas is at 8.2. So I'm into Darnold this week. I'm writing him up as a streamer. And if you're in, a little bit of quarterback hell this week, maybe Jalen Hurts is out on bye for you. I think Darnold's a really good pickup and streamer.
Yeah. I think one element is missing is I say missing. AJ Barner's been balling, but I'd like to see in the second half a little Elijah Arroyo. Like that.
They need a secondary target. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's played from the beginning. Like I remember seeing him out there in first or second drive week 1, but they don't throw him a lot of targets. We can move on to the final game. It's Arizona at Dallas. Dallas, deep funnel. Start Marvin Harrison. Also, pro tip: start Trey McBride. I mean, he's one of my favorites. That was the first combine or Senior Bowl. Trey McBride, baby. Trey McBride. That was the first guy I got to watch and took that information and brought it to fantasy. Was on the Sirius. I'm like, all I know is this Trey McBride's good, and he's going to be good because he was good on every single rep I saw. Not that we're going to look at anybody else here, but Graham, the backfield, I'm sure they'll call Michael Carter up from the practice squad, but are you leaning a little bit more into Bam Knight? My position is it's Bam or bust. That's it.
Yeah, I think I'm Bam or bust too. Their last game, Knight doubled up Carter by expected fantasy points, doubled him up in carries. He also got 4 targets, which is a little surprising too. So this Trey Benson thing is bizarre. I mean, he tore his meniscus. I haven't really seen any other updates from Cardinals beat writers. So this could be like a Kamani Vidal type situation with Knight. It's like, maybe it's like week 12 when we get Benson back. So you could be looking at a pretty decent runway for Knight here.
Must be the minor meniscus because my son had double meniscus surgery.
Yeah, Edwin always says that there's
two of them.
There's 2 of them. One's really really bad. The one that JJ McCarthy had last year is the really really bad version.
Yeah, that knocked my son out of ended his baseball career in high school.
Yeah, I tore my meniscus in high school too, and luckily I had the good one.
He had the good one on the other leg.
Oh, geez, double. That's brutal. Listen, I have never been a Kyler Murray tout ever. Literally never. I've never done it. We have to do it this week, though, right?
Yeah,
Dallas is just so bad in the secondary.
We do.
This game has just clear shootout upside because their secondary is so bad.
Top total on the board.
Yeah, it's Kyler week. If Kyler doesn't score like 18 or 19 fantasy points this week as a floor, you shouldn't be playing Kyler as your starting quarterback in fantasy anyway, but if you do have him, you can't bench him this week.
It's got to be Marvin Harrison time too as well.
I agree. Yeah.
And by the way, I doubt it ever happens, but one angle on Marvin is at the very least, we're not totally relying on Kyler nowadays. Like Kyler gets hurt, Brissett's been good.
Yeah. Bro, what did you What have you seen from Harrison this week, just or this season on film? Like any improvement year over year?
I think it looks good.
Okay.
I think the separation numbers bear that out as well. I think he's a little bit better. Yeah, it's the role's weird, because we begged for them to give him more like over the middle type stuff, deep crossers and
those
inbreakers.
crossers, yeah.
But then you realize Kyler Murray's 5'8" and can't see those routes.
Yeah,
So it's like,
kind of do what Dallas is doing with Pickens and what they started maybe last year in Pittsburgh, right? Kind of diversifying a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Marv looks good though. He had the yips early on, and then once he got over that, I felt like he's put together a couple solid weeks in a row. So
how about Jake Ferguson, goose egg and people? That's fantasy in 2025 in a nutshell. Oh, look at you! You got the number 1 tight end in fantasy, goose egg. How about that? How you like that?
That's tight end scoring though. I think that's really like very few tight ends like have a legitimate floor. And yeah, that game just kind of got away from Dallas. Obviously, it was heavy Lamb and Pickens as the first reads, and then they just kind of gave up there in that second half.
Yeah, Javonte still looks pretty good. They were working Blue in a little bit more. Any thoughts on Blue, Graham? Could he
really good handcuff? Like if you've got an extra bench spot and Blue's out there for some reason, he should be. Right. I think I looked on Yahoo. He's still like 80 or 90% of it. He should be rostered in every single team. I mean, he's one injury away from being a really good RB2.
I really think that the waiver wire, and it's just weird out there. Like there's all kinds of guys,
John, there's been so many injuries this year. Right. I understand there's just been so much churn on the waiver wire.
Exactly.
You're just looking for like a playable receiver.
Get me through this week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whereas it used to be early portion of the season, you're looking for
stashes,
5-6 guys who move the needle, who are going to have a big year. We're not getting that. Like all the cheat sheets are right. Like all the guys we had up the top, barring injury, they're all the guys who are doing it because nobody else is emerging other than the guys like Kendrick Bourne, but he's filling in for freaking Pearsall.
Yeah, exactly. They've lost all their receivers. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Well, that'll wrap it up. Hopefully we put forth some good hashtag analysis. I know Graham's start sit article, always money. I feel like my Hansen Sense has been pretty damn good this year. So only spend 36 hours on it, but I think it's pretty good in terms of the slotting of the players and, isolating the matchup. So that is a comprehensive look at everything. And, I won't publish that until Sunday. We're recording this Wednesday night. So I'm going to do like literally another 40 hours of research before that article is up. So check that out. Check out all the podcasts and all the good stuff, liking, subscribing, all that stuff. For Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield, I'm John Hanson Field, and this has been the Week 9 edition of Matchup Points at FantasyPoints.com. Good luck this week. We'll talk to you next week.